Job seekers, basically how they do give a better job opportunity, because the training methodology which Scholars Pro adopts is since it is at par with the industry standards, so industry basically looks and takes advice with respect from the Scholars Pro for hiring it, since Scholars Pro has links to the industry. These I would request the participant to please mute themselves. Hemant, can you please mute yourself? Otherwise, other participants would not be able to hear. Hemant. Thank you, Hemant. Scholars Pro basically offers majorly these technologies, and apart from these, this is not the end, provides other courses also. Apart from SaaS, business analytics, Hadoop, digital marketing, data science, and big data, there are n number of other more than 100 courses which Scholars Pro provides training on, and also helps trainers or resources who undergo training in getting jobs or having their career growth. Moving ahead to our DevOps. What is DevOps? DevOps basically is a terminology which has been recently introduced. Okay. Recently introduced because there has been a sudden churn and demand in the industry for people who know end to end of the system, and specifically people who have an expertise as a developer. Industry has started looking for people or developer who has end to end, and DevOps is the course which gives you that knowledge. Today we would be discussing about the introduction of DevOps, the tools of the DevOps, and how to start adopting DevOps. DevOps is basically an integrated system which is shown over the slide, which helps you to deliver continuous operations and continuous deployment across the systems. Now, what do I mean by across the system is from your development environment to your production environment. All those systems basically can be integrated, and the deployment can be done in a continuous manner. Till now, when DevOps was not introduced, we never used to follow the continuous development. The traditional way of deployment which we follow now is the code is developed, the code is then built, and then for certain number of issues, let's say an organization has functionality issues, say 10 to 20 functionality issues. So eventually, respect for every functionality, a certain amount of code would be developed, and when the full code would be developed with addressing to all the functionalities issues, then that code would be built into a package which would then be tested into a test environment, simultaneously move towards the QA, pre-prod, and production. That was the life cycle which has been following. Now, this is a good life cycle, but is not foolproof. Why? After the code is deployed into production, and I hope every one of us would agree that irrespective of the fact that how many times we test that code, we really cannot guarantee that whether that code is going to impact the production environment in a positive manner or in a negative manner. The problem comes when that code impacts the production in a negative manner. And what is that problem? The problem is to identify and pinpoint the root cause of the issue which has made production system down. And that is one of the drawbacks which industry eventually understood and started adopting the second methodology of deployment, which is continuous deployment lifecycle. Now, what is continuous deployment lifecycle? As I said, I would take the example again, which I just took. We have 20 functionalities issues. For every functionality issues, we would develop a code. As soon as the code is developed, let's say for the first functionality issues, it would be deployed. So we don't have to wait for other 19 set of codes to be developed for the whole package to be built. This way, every time the code would be developed, without bringing down the system. So that is one, again, the second point of continuous delivery life cycle is that you don't have to bring down the system. They are deployed through tools like Chef and Puppet, wherein we use cookbooks and recipes, manages the resources, and obviously we can also deploy it through projects by using the Jenkins tool into the production. The most advantageous point is it is very easy to pinpoint the problem, as you have developed one code, you have pushed it, system is fine. Simultaneously, you have developed and pushed it 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 code. When you have pushed your ninth code, the system goes down. Now you know that first 8 codes were working fine and has no negative impact over the production. So what you need to do is that you only have to work on the ninth code. So here you save the business impact, you save the man efforts, you save the time to find out the root cause analysis. Eventually, you give a solution at a faster place, a foolproof solution, and also roll out the changes easily within the deadlines. And that is what is the motive of continuous delivery life cycle, and on which DevOps is built. Since we are moving towards evolution, the applications which has come into existence are looking for such approaches wherein the root cause can easily be found out. Now, to find out a root cause basically is not a system admin's work or is a developer work, because that has been always a cold war. There has been always a cold war. Still there are for organizations who follow your SDLC, your non-continuous development life cycle, is a developer would say, I have developed a code, I am not sure why system is not behaving. It is a system administrator's fault. What will system admin say? A system admin will say, it is not my fault. I have checked in my systems. I have checked in my libraries. I'm diligently doing my housekeeping. I'm fine with my server is working fine, was working fine till that code was deployed. What was the reason of this fight? Till now, no one knew. The basic reason is the developer does not know the system does not, administrator does not know the developer code. Because of the lack of end-to-end system, these issues come up. I would not say it is an issue, it is a communication gap. In order to cater to these things, DevOps, which came into picture, was development and operations. Means a developer needs to know what is the operation, what is the application going to do, what is the basic purpose of the built application, and whatever code that developer is building, what is the use of that code in the application. Eventually, how is it going to benefit the business? That in crux, if anyone has to define DevOps, this is what is DevOps. DevOps comprises of ETL services, can be built over ETL services, data mart, search services. Search is your ELK, Kibana, log file searches, big datas. You have Nginx. Nginx is a powerful web server, more powerful than your Apache. Why? Because Apache works on memory concept, whereas Nginx works on process concept. Then you have PHP Joomla, CMS system. You have front-end DMZs, so middleware. This is what is the area of DevOps, and this is what is tomorrow, what is future, since it covers and it can be integrated with other testing tools like Selenium. So people who have joined in and who have questions like, I have been a developer, is DevOps a course which is beneficial for me? I believe you have already got the answer. Yes, it is. People who say, I am a database administrator, what will DevOps help me out? Well, my friend, a database administrator, for a database administrator, it is very important to know about DevOps is, end of the day, whatever code a developer is writing, it's going to affect your database. And you would have to keep your light on whole day, 24/7, and eventually get bugged by n number of people if your database does not behave properly and you don't know why. Okay. DevOps basically has a service oriented architecture with independent services. There are various DevOps services. You have AWS DevOps, you have Azure DevOps, you have IBM DevOps, you have Oracle DevOps. Irrespective of whatever tool or vendor you use, DevOps eventually also goes in the hand and is a separate topic, which involves the combination of various tools, which we will see. I believe there is someone who has unmuted himself or herself. I would request that person. Abhijit, can you please unmute yourself? Can you please mute yourself?
Yeah.
Thank you, Abhijit. Now, the basic question is, which I just said, how do you operate a system where continuous integration happens? The answer is continuous operations or continuous deployment. Continuous integration means any analytical, a big data. Let's say example of a big data where you are retrieving data from stock market or Twitter, content management or an advertising agency or an e-commerce organization basically would look for feeds, would look for comments. So they would create a Twitter app. They would try to capture it through a certain component, put it into HDFS and do a reporting. Okay. There's a continuous integration of Flume, product called Flume, and different memory channels allowed it. And obviously, in order to do that analytics, there would be a continuous development of code, because every time you have to tweak around your memory channel, otherwise your system might go down. How would a developer work on it if the developer is not knowing what is the operational side of it? So that is why this question there comes up as a valid question, wherein how do I operate a system like this where continuous integration is happening? It is DevOps. I need to know continuous operations. Operating system with continuous integrations has analysts, would require the combination of analysts, business, whereas application is following the business needs, development, obviously there has to be frequent update, and a system admin. Irrespective of whatever happens, a system admin is always required to maintain the stability. All these things are what is to be performed by DevOps. Gone are those days. Gone are those days where sysadmins and developers were hired. I'll tell you, my friend, don't be offended, but after 5 years, if you are only a developer or only a system admin, will be very difficult to find a job or grow in career. Origin of DevOps took place around 2009. As I said, it's not recent. Okay. It works on infrastructure as a code, believes in continuous integration, and integrates with cloud and platform as a service. These are the today's business channel, like as in which I was explaining. Customer says X, line of business requires does the requirements on the basis of customer desiring, gives it to the development team. Now the development team perceives it something else, develops a code and gives it to the operation team. Eventually that developed code does not behave as it should have behaved as per customer's requirement, and customers fires. So this and this gap are the major gap, which is the challenge of today, creating unnecessary pressures and complexity. In order to bridge this gap, DevOps came into picture. Sorry. DevOps reduces delivery gaps by integrating and automating deployment planning process across development and operations. How? They ensure asset and configuration details are shared and synchronized across asset stores. So you have, now asset here means servers. Okay. So you don't have in a environment of 100 servers, you would not see, which was the case with few years back, or even till today, whoever follows traditionalists, there would be 64 GB RAM somewhere, there would be 60 GB RAM somewhere, there would be 63 GB RAM somewhere. Okay. There is no uniformity, there is no synchronization of the configurations. You would ask, what is the difference between having 60 GB, 64 GB or 63 GB? Eventually they are going to work, because anyhow, the whole during business peak hours, you'll have a load balancer, and eventually one system would not be affected. Well, my friend, from that perspective, it might not be affected, but when you deploy a code, yes, it will be affected. Second, it leverages the integrated tools for discovery and accelerating provisioning of test lab and production labs. We always have to keep one thing in mind is the testing lab and not the development machine. Testing lab and the production environment provisioning should be done in a way so that their configurations and their setup is almost equal, because after testing, the particular code or application is directly deployed into production. Since DevOps has certain tools which helps in accelerating its provision to a finer accuracy, it also improves the test performance and fasten the resolution of the problems whichever arises. And third is, it makes issue identification and resolution management much easier as compared to traditional systems. I think I have. Okay, great. By sharing the problem and ticket information, it also has tracking tools for production environment so that you can always have refer to older issues. If any one of them have repeated, you can easily fix them.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Tiwari. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, can you just discuss the second point over here, which says, I've changed the slide now. Yeah, ensure asset and configuration details. Could you please elaborate this point, please?
Yeah, ensure asset and configuration details means, as I was saying, asset and configuration here, I am speaking about the servers. Anyhow, why servers? Because you build a code, you build an application, you build it over a server, right? Any code or any application, the performance of it is directly proportional to the configuration of the server. If different environment, and not including the development environment like testing, QA, pre-prod and prod, if the configuration of these environments are not synchronized, if a developer does not know the configuration of these things, these particular different environments, the developer would not be able to basically build that code which can run in different environments, giving better efficiency and lesser impact. That is what is meant by ensuring asset and configuration details shared and synchronized. Hello? Am I clear? I'm not sure who asked this question because
yeah, I got it. My name is Dhruv. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So moving ahead. Now coming to the basic definition, I've already told you, DevOps is development plus operation. Software engineering, technology operations, and QA is DevOps. A methodology of continuous delivery, a software development method which stresses communication, collaboration, and integration. So you see here, for a while, let's say we follow a traditional system. So these three circles, which are yellow, pink, and blue, are three different teams. Wherein development, software engineering would do the coding, testing is done by QA, and technology operation is system admin and operations. A requirement of the customer is taken and given to development to build a code. Okay, I'm talking about traditional system. I'm not talking about how it would be done in DevOps. Okay, so please listen. Development would basically develop a code based on the requirement. Developer would not think about what is the configuration, whether the code is going to run or not, what is the capability of server to hold on or to respond to overhead conditions or overhead processes. Will the developer's code generate new or spawn new processes? All these aspects developer is not going to consider. Developer has not been considering it. He'll push the code. QA, okay, this is my validation point. If this happens, this should be the result. I'm getting this result as per the code. So it is passed. QA is also not bothered about whether this code would have some other implications on the system or not. Now, coming back to the technology operations, who are the front end guys, I don't say that here. I would say that technology operations are always the person who get the best heat, irrespective of other people. I'm not offending developers, but that's the bitter truth of life. Okay. How do I know it? I have been a developer, I have been a QA, and I'm been a technology operation. Going through all the aspects, I find this to be a more risky thing. Technology operations finally pushes the code. Taking person who has unmuted himself, please mute. There is a doorbell. Please attend the door. Mute yourself. Prasanta, please mute.
Hi. Just
Prasanta, there is someone at the door.
ওটা অফ করে দাও আরে ও আওয়াজটা হচ্ছে প্লিজ ওয়েট আরে ওটা খুলে দাও না দরজাটা
Prasanta, you can mute yourself. That's okay.
Okay. Just a minute, please hold on. ওকে বলছি আসছে এখানে একটা ইয়ে করছে ওকে that has gone.
Yeah.
That is gone, audio has gone. Okay, tell me.
No, nothing, Prasanta. I'm just saying mute yourself, nothing else.
Okay.
Your microphone is on. Please mute yourself.
Okay. Okay. Now, what I was saying just got bugged up. Now, technology operations is going to push the code, and the code brings down your system. Now, what will happen? First and foremost, customer is going to bang the technology operations guy. Eventually, technology operation would put it on QA. QA will put it on development. This blame game would continue like cat and mice game. Will never find a solution. And basically, that is the reason why business and IT industry really wanted a solution. They came up saying they came up with this thing is, why don't we streamline the release process and ensure that every person or every team who is associated with a particular deployment knows in and out of it. And there came the term of development and operations. Similar is for SysOps, but here we are only concentrating on DevOps. So that is what is DevOps. DevOps basically is a development and operations collaborations. It treats your infrastructure as a code. It has switches. For operations, it has a tool called Kanban, and it is also suitable for development. See this elephant. What is happening? This elephant is not a real elephant. They are trying to build a elephant. So a person is fixing ears. Someone is fixing his tail, then tusks, then trunk. Everyone is coordinately working. They are blindfolded. Okay, they are blindfolded, but they know what they are making. That is the reason why they know. They have the whole picture that they have to build an elephant. Imagine a situation when this guy who is fixing an ear says does not know what basically the product is going to be. He will just build an ear. He'll fix somewhere else, whether it is on the at the place of an eye, or at the place of the tusk, or at the place of a tail. He has built his ear. He'll fix anywhere. Will elephant look like an elephant? No, it will not look like an elephant. The coordination and teamwork, by knowing what is the product which needs to be built, is what is DevOps, along with automation. DevOps basically is an integrated development and operation lifecycle. The basic principle is SDLC. They ensures that development understands and deals with production-like environments, so avoids architectural communication. They shared in DevOps. A DevOps engineer needs to know the technology which, with respect to what is a product suitable for that technology, so that he ensures testable environments and scripts, reusable scripts for repeating delivery. Then DevOps also covers releasing of applications from testing to staging to production. It also ensures collaborative incident management. Why incident management? Because if your list of issues are not recorded somewhere else, and tomorrow, if you have if you have again a set of issues coming up, what is the base issue, or what is the benchmark you're going to refer? If you have these things somewhere noted down, you can always refer, fine, this issue is similar to that issue, that could be the reason. We do have service management industry, we do have system admin in the industry. It's not that incident management is something new which has been introduced in DevOps. So before you come up and ask that, why are you saying that collaborative incident management is the part of DevOps, wherein in our organization we have a tool, we use Unicenter CA or BMC Remedy or HP service desk to do that incident management. Then I would say, my friend, that incident management is well confined to service managers and a team of service management. Your developer does not know what is going to happen with that with that incident management tool. Here, it ensures that there is a proper interaction. Development and operations use the same analysis and instrumentation for testing and development, which is a part of DevOps. And then it manages the entire delivery pipeline with end-to-end visibility. That is what we will see repeatedly. That is the reason why in the beginning of this session, I said, in Crux, development is defined as managing or a person having a knowledge of end-to-end delivery life cycle, which is being mentioned in this in form of points of story. DevOps basically helps you to move your code from your code to VM, do an automation, take care of your data with respect to automation, and also about the OS and other servers. Immutable servers are those servers which cannot really be migrated easily. These are the tools of DevOps. Now, first two, that is Azure Resource Manager and AWS, are basically two different vendors. Okay. So they do have their own DevOps and they work on REST, like Vagrant. Vagrant is your virtualized system, if you have heard about, like a VM. Ansible is used for deploying projects. Ant is again for deploying codes. JIT is your repository. Chef or Puppet. Chef is basically again a master and a slave, follows a master and a slave architecture. Same, Puppet also follows master and slave architecture. In this, what happens is that you develop a code into a cookbook, within a cookbook as a recipe. So here code is known as recipe, and list of codes are combined in the cookbook, and it is Chef server, which basically when you run it would distribute it through its Chef agent to your different environments. Same is the case with Puppet, whereas Puppet has a master and a Puppet agents has slave. You have Puppet Enterprise to manage these over a URL. Push the code. Here there is nothing called cookbook and recipes. It basically distributes it from masters to Puppet agent. Can you please mute yourself? Prasanta, please.
Yes. Okay.
PowerShell, Windows PowerShell is a scripting thing which can be which is used to do this DevOps, wherein you can write the scripts and put it, which as Microsoft has eventually moved on to open source, going that. Source control is to control and do the versioning, another tool. Jenkins is similar to your Ansible, not exactly, but here also you have projects, handbooks, which is delivered, and Docker. Now, what is Docker? Docker is a ship, follows a ship container concept. Now, what is ship container concept? I believe you guys have joined from different places. Any one of you have joined from a coastal region like Mumbai? If yes, or if you guys have been to Mumbai, then there is a dockyard at Mumbai. Okay, there's a dockyard. You are from?
I'm from Calcutta. I have seen the dock here in Netaji Subhash Dock and Netaji Subhash and Kidipur dock in Calcutta.
Yes. So what happens in dockyard is that you have different containers, different colors container, different size containers. A ship comes, different containers are put into ship. So you'll have stack of containers. Now, what is the purpose of ship? A ship will deliver that container to their individual destinations. Now, what if there would have been a situation where for every container you required a different ship? It would have been very costly. And that is what we have been doing it till now. Docker is an answer, or is a equivalent to a ship wherein you can host n number of different instances at one place, catering to different applications across the environment, or publishing codes to different environment, okay, across the to different environment across any DMZ zone or apart from DMZ zone, which is again centralizing your system and then running it within a stipulated area, putting out the cost. Kubernetes is basically a virtualized system, a coding system wherein you deploy your scripts and codes eventually. Just hold on a sec. Okay. Now, I talked about so many tools. What do? They help in version controlling. They help in automated code deployment.
Yes, I have one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have mentioned so many tools for DevOps.
Yes.
So these all tools need to be studied, or there are some one or two tools will help out to know the DevOps and to.
No, Aman, you don't have to study all the tools.
Okay.
To answer your question, you don't have to study all the tools.
Okay.
Like, if you know Chef, you don't have to know about Puppet. It's not necessary.
Okay.
If you know Vagrant, you're fine. Even if you don't know Docker. If you know Ansible, you don't have to know about Kubernetes or Jenkins. JIT is something you should know because it is a shared resources. But I'll come back to you on this. Is why I mentioned these tools is that we go and we basically teach these tools to students so that whoever takes this course, so that they have enough choice to build their career in wherever we want. We don't restrict it.
No, that's okay. That's okay. My question is, means out of these tools we have to should know either one or two.
No, not one or two.
Okay.
You should know as something for virtualization, either Vagrant or Docker. You should know Chef or Puppet, and you should know Git. At least 3 to 4 you should know, and which does not include your Azure and AWS. Because they are technology. They are not basically tools.
Okay.
Okay.
So, getting any specialization about some people from different domains should know this tool because we are here different domains person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, get any specific link up with a specific domain.
See, DevOps specific domain is, what do you understand by domain, Aman? First, I would like to understand.
Suppose I am from infrastructure background, right? Someone is here with a development background. Someone is here from Windows background.
Fine.
So, these tools are completely independent with all these domains, or
no. PowerShell is okay. 1 minute. PowerShell is for Windows. Who are from development, they would easily go with your Jenkins or Vagrant because the codes are based on Java. Who are from Unix or Linux background, they can easily go with Chef and Puppet. There is a linkage, or Docker. Okay. They can easily go through it, right?
Means we have to use the tool as per our earlier background, right?
Yes.
This one, yes. And can you tell me, there is any top 3 tool accepted in the industry?
Top 3 tool is Docker, Chef, and your Jenkins.
Okay.
This is
which
tool used to be used for what you're talking about. These 3 tools are there.
No, he asked about what is the top 3 industry prefers. Like with respect to, like, let's say you have 100 customers, and 60
Yes.
60 customers prefers what? They prefer this. Rest of the 40 customers, they prefer others. So it is on that basis.
Oh,
It is no hard and fast, okay? Because see, IT industry is a dynamic industry. Today they are preferring this. Tomorrow, if there is a some innovation in other of the tools, people will switch onto it. Right? That is how the IT industry has been. Right?
tools will keep on changing.
Yes. See, there was a developer.
Change.
Now there is DevOps. There was a system admin. Now there is SysOps. There was data center. Now we have cloud. It got changed. But if you ask me on 22nd October, which is 22nd October 2016, what are the preferred tool? What are the top 3 tool? Not the preferred ones. Top 3. This is one. On 23rd, if it changes, it changes. We cannot do anything, right? Now, basically, these tools helps you out in version control, automated code deployment, resource monitoring, provisioning, ticketing system. All these tools, basically, what do? They have brought a lot of evolutions. So they operate the application in coordination with business. Today, only that product is successful. Which is going to bring revenue for business. And let me tell you, my friend, we are not a revenue generator. We have always been a liability for a business. We don't deliver any product which can directly be sold to a customer. Our products are sold to business, not to a consumer. Okay. Or to run a business, we sell it to a consumer. So we are not a revenue generator. We are liability. So that is the reason why DevOps, which has been becoming a hot cake, is because it basically helps the application to coordinate with respect to what business wants. Or DevOps has now become a part of application development. It allows and it basically manages the infrastructure design evolution with respect to application code. And with itself, it brings different values of operations like security, your Kerberos security, range security, your LDAP security, your backup either through your, what do we have? Your if you have gone through Amazon S3, a Glacier backup or automated backup, anything to the development team, and simultaneously brings down the cost of operation and enhances the value of application. DevOps is versus Agile. If we happen to compare, DevOps is especially complementary to Agile software development process. So it works on that concept. It extends and completes the continuous integration and release process by ensuring that code is production ready and will provide value to customer. How? With the help of the tools which we discussed. Okay. DevOps is a concept and a technology. By DevOps, there is no tool. DevOps is a combination of n number of open source tools, which we discussed. Okay, so please, after this session, don't get confused that, okay, I want to run DevOps. DevOps is what? It is a developing tool. No, it is not a tool, boss. It is a concept. The tools are its component. DevOps enables a far more continuous flow of work into IT operations. DevOps delivers code every 2 weeks. That is what is meant by continuous delivery operations. And not DevOps. It does not deliver 2 weeks. Sorry, I just mistook it. DevOps basically ensures that there is no chaos and disruptions with respect to deployments, because if the development team delivers a code 2 weeks, which is deployed after 2 months, the value of that code would basically go down. So customer won't get the value. So DevOps is something which ensures that this thing does not happen, which is also the concept or basis of Agile. DevOps basically believes or stands on 3 principles. System thinking, as in business and operations. Business and customer are kept happy. Then amplifying feedback loops. There should always be a continuous development, and obviously customers should always be happy. Third is culture of continuous experiment and learning, doing more R&D to enhance your development process. These are the 3 principles on which DevOps work. And Prasanta, there is a background noise.
Okay. Continue.
Okay, thank you. Tools for these are the tools for adopting DevOps. For configuration management, you have SVN, Escape, ConfigGen. I just showed you a glimpse of few tools. For continuous integration, you have Anthill, Jenkins, Doxygen, JavaDoc. Testing, you have Fitness, JMeter, JUnit, Selenium. For deployment, you have Go, Anthill Pro. For build and deployment scripting, you have MS Build, Gradle, Make, Maven. Infrastructure environment, you have AWS, Windows, Google, Heroku, Ecliptus, IBM Tivoli, Windows Azure. For data, you have MySQL, Oracle, Postgre, SQL Simple, and so on. These are bit more options of tools which you get for deployment or handling your system, which is the part of your DevOps concept or works on the DevOps concept. DevOps is enabled through deployment pipeline, which is build, deployment, test, and release, which basically the purpose is to have a better visibility to the team members and have a better feedback so that team members learn of problems and fix them as soon as possible, and continuous deployment. That is the main things of it. The benefits are improved quality of software deployment, more frequent software releases. Obviously, you get more build packages, improved visibility, cultural change collaboration. So for different regions, you can easily develop your code and cater to their business, more responsiveness to the business. You have more agile development since it's complementary to agile. You have more efficient change management process, and you have improved quality of code. The adoption of the DevOps is driven by, yes, hello?
Quality of code. What do you mean by quality of code? It is structured. It should be a structured one so that
the quality of the code does not mean that the structure or the hierarchy of parent-child relationship which you will derive while writing a code. Quality of a code from DevOps perspective is code when executed and implemented in environment does not bring issues. How would you improve that quality? You can improve that quality only when you know end-to-end system. If you have a project of $1 billion and you're taking we are making a code which would not even affect 1% of that project, you cannot build an efficient code. That is what is meant by quality of code. Quality of code does not mean constructing a loader, constructor, or if in case of Java, or using hash join, partitioning, bucketing, or indexing in case of database, or using a awk, SCD, or any of those scripting languages, or Python, or combination of Python and Erlang. No, that is not his quality of code. That does not mean by improving the quality of code. Okay?
okay.
Any business, okay, I'll tell you. A developer is said to be a good developer only when his or her code brings minimal business impact, irrespective of the fact that developer is 10 years experience, 5 years experience, or 20 years experience. The adoption of the DevOps is driven by 3 factors. First is use of agile and other development process. Second, these are the factors on which DevOps is based. Demand for increased rate of production releases. Third, wide availability of virtualized and cloud infrastructure. Fourth, increased usage of data center automation and configuration. All these factors are the reason why DevOps are being adopted, because they can easily get implemented on these scenarios. So, this was something which we discussed about DevOps. Apart from that, if you happen to take this course, what is the key takeaways you are going to take? First and foremost, irrespective of the background you have, development, system admin, or Linux admin, you would be given exposure, and practical exposure, I mean, on the tools which I have mentioned. So there would be set of projects which would be given to you as an assignment and would be shown to you. That would basically equip you and enhance your knowledge as into how they work and how they work in industry. First thing. Second, again there is a doorbell.
You continue. Okay.
Sure. Now, second, once you are done with that, what is the major, when a resource or when a person gets trained or does a training, there are 2 to 3 things which you keep in mind. First, what is the best thing what is it that I'm going to get? Okay, I'm going to get knowledge. Fine. What is the use of knowledge if I cannot convert it into money? Well, you'll be given a certificate which would be treated as an experience when you show, which when you show it industry, and simultaneously the knowledge which you will gain, and not only theoretical is necessary because it is going to clear your basics, but also the practical thing which you are going to gain would eventually land up to get you more calls. Why? Because there is a huge demand of DevOps engineers, DevOps project managers, DevOps product managers, DevOps technical leads, DevOps architects, and supply is very less. These are the 2 things which will basically help you to explore further. Eventually, if you work on any of the cloud, today AWS is leading, tomorrow someone else would be leading. You can easily switch around. Why? Because DevOps would be taught over a cloud-like concept. So this is what you would take as a key takeaway when you are enrolled in this course. Now, I have said and informed you about DevOps and what all things are there. If you have any questions, please proceed. One by one, please.
Yeah, Ankesh, Aman this side. Yeah, how can you correlate OpenStack with the DevOps?
Okay, OpenStack is what, Aman? Do you know?
Yeah, it's a customized private cloud.
It's not also okay. OpenStack
open source.
No, OpenStack is not a customized cloud. OpenStack is basically a bare metal which OpenStack organization uses to host, to virtualize it and work it as a cloud. Otherwise, OpenStack is used in AWS, OpenStack is used in Oracle, OpenStack is used in IBM Bluemix, OpenStack is used in Azure. Everywhere the bare metal is OpenStack, and now I hope I am able to answer you how DevOps is basically going to work on it. DevOps sits over OpenStack.
DevOps?
Sits over OpenStack as an architecture.
Okay.
That is why. Next question. I would request the name to the candidates to please let me know your name when you ask your questions, because it will be easy for me to remember and address it. So next question.
Hi, Rafiq here. So,
Rafiq.
most of the development background. So DevOps side means it will be more towards operation side work-wise.
No. It will be a combination of development. So since you are from development background, your knowledge would be leveraged with respect to these tools, and eventually your knowledge would be enhanced as you would know the operation side also. How your development side and how your code, whatever you develop, works at the operation side. What is the concept? What is when you will work on the practical front, or when we'll be giving you assignments, you would see that.
Okay.
So, one thing Prashant was explaining.
Yes, Prasanta, please tell me.
I have worked in development, implementation, migration. There are testing. A lot of part is there in when you developed it. lot of testing phases is there, then implement. Now the development, whatever this item you are going to sell it, the, with the help of this, how all this set of set of development and all these things, how we'll run it?
Okay.
How it will put on the top of the development or implementation side or testing side? How will you put it?
Okay.
How will you install it? Where will you install it? It is not on the operating system.
Okay. Let me tell you one thing.
It's the outer side.
No. That is what. Prasanta, listen to me. Prasanta, listen to me. In the beginning, I said DevOps is not a technology, it is a concept first.
Concept.
Yes. Question to your answer: how do you install? You don't install a concept. You install the components or tech products of the concept, which are the tools. Okay, on the operating system. Third, how does it take care of implementation and testing and your DevOps? It is the DevOps, basically the integration of Chef, Puppet, and other tools which gets integrated and automate this process, and that is how it will happen. DevOps is not installed. The tools of the DevOps are installed. Okay.
That's
Okay. Next question, please.
Hi, Akesh. Yuvraj here.
Yeah, Yuvraj.
Yeah, a couple of points actually. Thanks for the information because you seem to be knowledgeable across the technologies and platforms. So it was really a good learning for us as well. I would be interested in Docker, so probably we can take that offline. And probably on the slide 26, you can add more from the product management perspective as well. Atlassian like Confluence, etc., Wiki, SharePoint, etc. Maybe it's just a small
suggestion.
Suggestion. Yeah.
Okay.
And thanks. It was very knowledgeable from you. I mean, the session was really good. Looking at from the end-to-end perspective, right from the conception.
Yeah.
So thanks for the session. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. Any more questions?
I don't have more question. This tool will be embedded with the system itself. This DevOps you're talking about it.
Sorry?
We don't have to purchase it.
No, these are open source tools. Why do you have to purchase it?
Open source, there is no question of purchasing it. So,
Yeah.
This is the easy. This was what is the advantage? Can you serialize it?
Advantage with respect to career, with respect to automizing, with respect to
what is the disadvantage?
See, DevOps. You see, the most major advantage, which I have already said, you are automizing things. You are improvising your code. You are managing your system in a better way. You have better hold of the system. All these are advantage. And from one single point, you are able to have not bird's eye view, a detailed view of your system. In detail, what is going on, how things are moving, customer is happy, downtimes are less, business impact is less, business delivery is more, revenue for the business is generating more. These are all advantages, right?
So time taking will not be time. I mean, can we maintain this schedule?
Schedule of what? Schedule of the delivery?
Development or whatever it is.
See,
can you maintain all it will increase the time.
Okay, Prasanta. It's not about maintaining the deadlines. You would be delivering your product before the deadlines.
That deadline in implementing this thing, you should not miss the deadline. That is the main question.
That is what I said. There is no deadline missing thing. You would be delivering it before the deadline.
Oh. Then okay.
Okay.
So there will be a lot of penalty clauses there. That's why I'm worried about the delivery.
That's okay. That's okay.
It should not suffer, you know, from this.
No, it will not.
Suffer. Okay.
Any more questions?
My side is okay.
No, from anyone else. If is there any more questions, or should we wrap up the session? I believe there are no more questions. And if you guys are interested to join in the course, people from Scholars would basically get in touch with that. And you guys can ask rest of your questions with respect to your classes, timing, fees, and blah blah blah.
Ankesh, how will be that happen? I mean, like I am from Hyderabad location, so it will be like online.
Yes, it will be online. I believe this is Venkat, right?
Yeah, this is Venkat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, this will be online.
Okay.
Regarding fees, I am not the right person to tell you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I need to check about the timings and all. Then I think I can contact you.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Ankesh.
Oh,
It was a
thank
good
you.
discussion.
Same here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye all.
Thank
Thank you.